So today I want to talk a little bit about brainstorming and sketching for our magazine covers, some things that we as graphic designers do. So today what I'm going to do is talk to you about my brainstorm that I kind of developed here for my Pop Art magazine cover. And I'm also going to talk about some of the things that we do when we sketch for designs, right? So in here we're designing a magazine cover. We want to talk about some layouts. We want to talk about some different things in terms of where we're going to put the title, all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to sketch on Photoshop here. You are just going to sketch right on a sheet of paper. I'm using a tablet. There's a lot more that we would need to cover to use those for right now, but I'd like you to just use pen and paper for this. But I figured this would be an easy way to record it and kind of go over what we're going to do in class. All right, so my brainstorm here, right? So you had to create a brainstorm about your magazine cover. So in here, some things that we are going to need to consider for our magazine. What is the topic, right? So my topic for my magazine is going to be high school golf. So it's going to focus on high school golfers. It's going to be tailored towards high school students, that age range, right? So that's why, I think the pop art is going to fit for that. My focal image, I have some here. I'll show you in a second, but I'm thinking about like a photo of a golfer swinging. I took some photos of the golf team over the fall. I figured I could use one of those. In terms of my magazine title, I came up with a fun one called Tea Times. Thought that'd be kind of fun. If you're having a hard time coming up with names, obviously that's not important, but if you want a good one, just use ChatGPT. Type in, interesting sports magazine names or interesting golf names, and you'd be surprised. You'll get some good ideas. So then I came up with my magazine edition title. It's going to be Red Devils Dominate. So that'll be the actual title of this edition. I have 3 subheadings: Hinsdale State Contenders, Local Division I Commits, and Best Local Courses to Check Out. Just 3 subheadings that I made up, relative to my topic. Edition, month, and year, I just chose October. And then the website address. So I did www.ttimesmag.com. So that's just something fun to put on the magazine as well. All right. Because if we look at a lot of magazine covers, they have these different features on that magazine. It's not just a title with a picture. There's some fun stuff in there that we'll add, right? We'll add a barcode. We'll add some things like maybe a QR code. Things like that could be kind of fun to develop that magazine, make it look realistic. So next slide I have here are my focal images. So I went in and put a couple images that I think I might use, maybe both, maybe one, for that magazine cover. So that's what those are there. I talked about how it relates to my magazine topic because it's directly images of high school golfers, right? So you want to make sure that you're choosing photos that are directly in line with your topic. What effect are you going to use, right? We did those 3 effects. I think I'm going to use the halftone effect. I think it's going to help give some life, give some energy, and kind of tie into the age range that I'm trying to design for, right? That's what we're trying to do here, is make a cover that's going to make people want to buy it. So we're going to want to make sure we follow that. All right. I have some inspiration here. I thought it's kind of cool, like the action photo here, the guy sliding, baseball. So maybe a combination of the 2 images on my magazine would be cool. I really like this pop style with these kind of like explosion shapes that we might add. So maybe I might use that in some way, shape, or form. And then I kind of like the layout of this magazine that I found over here, where we have the title in the top left, we have the date on the right, we have some barcodes in there, maybe some subheadings on the bottom left. So just some things to kind of look at, to kind of get inspired by, and kind of not copy, but follow, right? To kind of get inspired with. All right. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the sketching process, right? We have all of these things that we need to include on this magazine. The only thing we don't need to include is the topic. That's just the overall focus. But our focal image, which is going to be the most important part of this magazine. What is the focal picture, right? As designers, we always like to think about how people want to read less and see more, right? So that focal image is going to be the biggest part of this magazine. So when I start sketching, I'm going to come over here, and I might consider my focal image somewhere, being somewhere in this like full vicinity here, like not right in the center, but maybe off to the side. So I'll just write F-I That's going to be my focal image. Obviously, I'm not worried about how well you can draw it, but that's kind of where I want that focal image to be, somewhere in that, that first third there. So the next thing is going to be that magazine title, right? That is going to be the second most important thing. So I might say, like, my magazine title, I might have kind of running, somewhere up here at the top. So this I might just write title. It's kind of hard to write with the stylus, but that might be my magazine title. The next thing is going to be my edition title, right? So what is the name of this magazine? I could maybe put that somewhere in here, maybe like in a lower box. Could be that magazine title or that edition title. So I might just write ET here so I know that that's my edition title. My 3 subheadings, I might have those like 1, 2, my 3 subheadings, right? So I might write like SH there. So that's going to be where my subheadings are. I can just put 1, 2, 3. We won't need the numbers there, but that just lets me know that there's going to be 3 of them, right? The edition month and year, right? So we want to make sure that we have the month and the year, like the date. I might go with that somewhere down, maybe down here. Could be kind of cool, like on an angle. I'm kind of following this angle layout, right? So that could be like month, year. That'll give me an idea where that is. And then maybe my web address I'll put down here underneath. I can maybe throw like a barcode over here. Right, I'll just put some lines, and this could be like my barcode, where that's going to go. I could maybe put, I could even put like a web address here, maybe like a slogan there. But again, having that kind of idea of like, okay, this is going to be like a kind of like a poppy title. It's going to kind of follow that pop art shape, right? Maybe this one will be like another kind of pop art shape, right? I can maybe like have like a cool shape that kind of boxes in those subheadings. Month and year, I could maybe put like an outline around it, do like a stroke, give it some kind of a box there. My focal image will have that, that kind of pattern there. I could have another slogan down here that's maybe boxed in, right? Maybe my barcode has like a pop art shape around it. But again, just getting an idea for where you're going to put things on the page is really what we're going for with this sketching assignment. We want to have an idea, okay, I'm going to try putting it there, moving some things in that spot. It also helps us see like, okay, how am I creating nice balance, right? If I go to Google and we look up magazine cover sketches or magazine cover layout sketches, you can see like a bunch of different things that people do just to get an idea for what their magazine's going to have, where things are going to go, where the title is, where the focal image is, right? It's not so much of like actually sketching it, but more or less getting an idea of where we're going to put things on this magazine cover, right? Where we're going to see the title, the subheadings, the slogan, maybe the year, maybe the month, right? So what I'd like you to do is obviously finish that brainstorm and then come up with a couple sketches for what you think for layout. Try a couple different things. Maybe we have, I'll just make a new document here and kind of show you another way of doing this. Maybe on this we have our, we have our focal image really big somewhere here, kind of on this first third, and then maybe my title is like running down vertically down the side here, right? Maybe this is where that title is, right? Maybe the edition title is like here, right? I can kind of write FI here for focal image. Again, just a rough kind of sketch to get an idea of where things are at, right? Maybe the month and the date. I could throw maybe down here in a box, right? I could have my barcode down here. barcode. I could have maybe, you know, my subheadings could maybe be like overlaid over this focal image. Again, it's just all about really, I'll just put ed title, right? So you can get an idea for where things are going to be, where things are going to go, how the balance is going to look, you know, and what kind of things you want to do with this to give it a really cool kind of magazine layout, right? So you can kind of cycle through and see what you're going for. All right. So the goal today is to make sure that that brainstorm is done and get some sketches, you know, like 2 or 3 different layouts so that we can choose. We can pick and choose, you know, some things from each and really come up with a good design. All right. So best of luck. Can't wait to see what you come up with.